Chunt! So if you haven't noticed, Pokemon Go went live this week, and for those of us who could actually play it, what do you think of it? Pokemon Go went live in Australia and New Zealand before anywhere else, so between work I've been able to give it a good go around. Does it live up to what was promised to us in the reveal videos? Are Pokemon now truly alive and among us? Not quite. For the most part, I can say there's something special about the experience of literally leaving your own house and going into the world trying to find your favourite elusive Pokemon. However, Pokemon has always been about sharing, socialising and battling with friends. So far, I feel Pokemon Go hasn't delivered on those aspects. There's no PvP option for combat, no messaging, no friends list, and no trading either. Right now it's basically a pure collectathon. One night, a couple of mates and I drove around to different Poké spots in town, and there was a multitude of local people walking around in groups, driving around, following us, and us following them. So if that's what the game is meant to be, then it's awesome, particularly if you're young enough to have the spare time walking around town with your mates at the shopping centre or parks instead of being stuck in an office all day. I've been trying to get some of the game in where I can, but there hasn't been a lot locally to experiment with besides spamming incense to attract the Pokemon to me at home. However, Friday night came and I had no plans, so I went driving around town finding different Poké spots, spamming other people's lures and walking around to get a feel for the concept as a whole. So instead of doing what any hot-blooded male would do and go to the clubs and try and get laid, I spent a good 3 hours on a Friday night looking for invisible creatures that I can only find using my smartphone. Take a number and line up, ladies. So what do you actually do in Pokemon Go? Well, you are to go outside into the real world, and your phone's GPS function tracks you on a mapping system that pulls its data from Google Maps, which is why you sign in to the game with your Google account BTW. Along your way, you will inevitably get random instances where a wild Pokemon will appear in your near vicinity. You can either catch said Pokemon without battling it at all, or continue walking. That's it. Yep. Depending on your location, you will arrive at Pokespots, which you can pick up random item drops that respawn every 5 minutes or so. Then the endgame begins, when you start finding gyms placed all over town for you to conquer, which plays out much like a King of the Hill scenario. You defeat the gym leader. Your Pokemon becomes guardian of said gym until it too is defeated. Before entering a gym, you need to choose whether you're on a team: red team, blue team, and yellow team. Whichever one really doesn't matter, but when a coloured team member takes over a gym, if you match that colour, you can battle the guardian to make it stronger so your team can hold it for longer. If you're on an opposing team, you can then battle the guardian for dominance. Simple and effective concept, but the combat is real time, not turn-based. You have to smash the screen as fast as you can to attack and dodge now and then by swiping left or right. Battles are usually over within 15 seconds or less. If you lose, then you just need to power up your strongest Pokemon by sacrificing others of the same species, feeding it Stardust and Candy Essence to the most dominant one. You can't battle outside of the gym to gain EXP to level up. I know I'm sounding down on it, I'm not trying to be. Whoever thought we'd ever have a Pokemon game that literally sends us out into the world to be part of the game? I can already see a lot of social and community aspects of the game being formed in my own community. Facebook groups are being made to give each other pointers, and of common Pokemon locations and so on. It's shaping up great, yet I can't help but feel it could be more than it is. Hopefully with future updates we can get more out of the gym battles, actual PvP combat and trading Pokemon mostly. Do I think this game will still be played in 6 months' time? The potential is there, but once you caught all 130 Pokemon in this game, you're left with trying to power up your Pokemon and hope to claim a gym and keep it there. For me, that's not enough to keep me playing or dedicating a lot of my time going out hoping to find multiple of the same Pokemon to try power up my strongest. If you're a fan of Pidgey, Zubat, Rattata, you might find those are your easiest options to dominate the fastest. I will pull my phone out when I'm walking to work or in the shops now and then at least. If this is a dream come true to you, then more power to you. I'll be watching future updates to see how they can build upon this potentially massive goldmine. If you're loving the game so far or think it's absolute garbage, let me know in the comment section below. I'm Uncle Chunt, look after yourselves and come back for my next video.
Oh, yes, Uncle Chunty.